This video is going to provide a brief overview of Domain 5 of the professional capabilities for paramedics as defined by APRA and the Paramedicine Board of Australia. So I'm also going to include in this video how I'd incorporate that into undergraduate education at CQU. So what is Domain 5? Domain 5 is about having the knowledge, skills and capability that must be demonstrated being a registered paramedic. Okay, I'm going to touch on one of the 6 topics. There's 6 sections within Domain 5 and I'm going to touch on one of these and how I have some ideas about how I might introduce this into training. I'm also going to zoom the lens out and speak to how I can see making a really positive impact in the sort of working lives of paramedics moving forward. So my history is in industry. I have 25 years with the ambulance service and 15 years of that has been educating paramedics, including undergraduates, diploma program and ongoing education of critical care and advanced care paramedics. So as a brief overview of Domain 5, it really covers everything that's required to be a well-rounded registered practitioner. So it covers everything from psychosocial requirements, multi-casualty, recognising determinants of health and the impact of socioeconomic determinants of health. It also looks at how to remain safe, patient safety, officer safety, and overarchingly, all the well-rounded skills it takes to be a paramedic who's registered. So I'm going to speak to paperwork, which can be a dry topic, but I'd like to spice it up with some serious play. Okay, so it's about paperwork being, it's part of section 1, it's about paperwork being accurate and timely. My idea for serious play is having either running a sim, a high fidelity sim, or capturing a brief video of the patient approach and patient history gathering section of a sim. Have the undergraduate students then write what they see, so we want their presenting history, their scene findings, all the things that you'd observe and write in the first part of a patient care record. Okay, pertinent negatives, relative findings, anything that they felt was relevant from observation of that scene, the patient and their gathering of history. Then post that into a discussion board or a small assignment, then leave it, and this would be at the front of the semester. And at the back end of the semester, and this would be for the earlier years, is incorporate that into a mock court where they learn the value of their paperwork holding up in legislation, particularly when something's not that fresh in their mind. But I'd also like to mature this view as they move through. So by 3rd year, I'd love to have them do a very similar sim, but in that I'd really love for them to recognise that this is a place where they can really influence the disposition of care of their patients and ongoing management in hospital, whether that be the emergency department or the intensive care units. I'd like to do this with collaboration. I've got good relationships with the Northern Coroner and both physician and education staffs in the emergency department and in the intensive care unit. So I think that could contribute to them being a well-rounded practitioner and realising that patient documentation is actually an extension and reflection of their professional practice. To zoom the lens out, I'd love to incorporate a toolkit into a degree which was subtly placed throughout the units, which it was all about mindset and then developing a curious coaching attitude, really. So in that, what I see with our graduate paramedics is that they struggle to be aware of how they show up in the workplace and how they then elicit feedback, seek feedback, receive feedback, and how they then develop action plans improving their own education moving forward. Because granted, this is something that happens as undergraduates, but it's something that they need to be this well-rounded practitioner, which is what Domain 5 is all about. So out of all of that, a coaching mindset is important to me because it's multi-directional. It teaches them how to inquire, reflect on their practice, ask questions that are relevant and meaningful, and will give them the tools themselves to form plans about how they might address their own training needs, how they might reflect, and how they can continue to grow and become the leaders of tomorrow. As a leader, this coaching feedback, or eliciting this coaching feedback and giving this coaching feedback, really will provide these graduates with the tools that they need to move forward. It will also incorporate the can-do open attitude that CQ represents and have them engage with a sense of professional pride and stewardship in their profession moving forward. Thank you.